Hey there and welcome back to the channel. It's Bryson with Dimes to Dollars here, and in today's hunt we have two more boxes of pennies. Hunt number 63 coming up. Boxes 131 and 132. I went ahead and popped this first box to see if we had any enders, and it turns out we got one wheat cent ender right over there. It may have been cleaned at some point, but it also looks kind of old, so I'm excited to see what it is when we get to it. But it's a really nice sign to see one this early on, right on the end. So I'll add that back to the box over there. We'll flip it over and see if there's anything on the other side, and we'll get started on the hunt. Roll number 2, and the first wheat cent of the hunt is going to be this 1950 from San Francisco. Well, the very next roll is absolutely loaded. It has 3 wheat cents in it. Up front is a 1958 out of Denver. Not far behind is wheat cent number 2. And that one's going to be a 1957 out of Denver. Third wheat cent is barely visible, but it's right back here. And that one's going to be a 1947 Philadelphia. 4 rolls in, and we're already at wheat cent number 5 with this 1946 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 6, and we have another 40s wheat cent, a 1949 out of Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we have a 50s wheat cent, a 1952 out of Denver. Also thought I mentioned the very next roll is going to be that wheat cent ender roll. Alright, well, we open that roll, got it all laid out, and it does appear to be the only wheat cent so far, so make your predictions on what the date is. And let's flip it in 3, 2, 1. Alright, that's going to be a pre-40s, 1934 Philadelphia. Awesome, another really nice find, especially early on, and we got lots of rolls left to go. 2 rolls later, and we have another pre-40s find. This one's a 20s wheat cent, 1925 out of Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we have another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1957 Denver. Very next roll, and we've got another one, although this time it'll be a 1956 out of Denver. Roll 18, and we have a 50s wheat cent, a 1958 out of Denver. Roll number 20, and we've got 2 more wheat cents. The one up front is going to be a 1957 out of Philadelphia this time. And the next wheat cent is back here. And that one's going to be a 1944 Philadelphia. Roll number 24, and we already have wheat cent number 15. This one's going to be a 1956 from Denver. Halfway point of this first box, and we have another 40s wheat cent here. It's not in very good shape, but it's going to be a 1942 from San Francisco. Roll 28, and we got one more wheat cent here from the 40s, a 1945 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 30, and we have another 40s find, a 1946 this time out of Philadelphia. Roll number 31, and we have a 50s wheat cent from 1953 out of Denver. 3 rolls later, and we have another 40s find, a 1945 Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we have another wheat cent from the 40s, a 1944 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 41, and we have 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1942 out of Denver up front here. And back here, wheat cent number 2 of the roll. And that one's going to be a 1956 from Denver. Roll 47, and we have 2 more wheat cents. Up front is a 1946 from San Francisco. And back here, wheat cent number 2. That one's going to be a 1957 from Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we've got something special here. We've got a counter stamp coin. I've only found a few of these in all my time hunting. This one's an Oklahoma counter stamp from 1975. That's pretty cool. I'll have to whip out the collection at some point to see what other ones we have, but I know we found an Arizona one, and we found a Kansas one as well. Be cool to find one from Oregon, because that's where I'm from. But that is a really cool find, and hopefully we might find some more. Alright, well, just for fun, I got the other 3 counter stamps I've found. And I actually didn't find a Kansas one, but I actually found a Pennsylvania one, along with a Arizona one, and we had a North Dakota one. So cool to add a Oklahoma one to the collection. And let's keep on hunting. Roll number 49, and we've got a very good roll here. We have 4 wheat cents, and the first one is a really good one. 1924 out of San Francisco. We might need that in the book too. I believe it's a lower mintage year. We'll have to check after the hunt's over, but either way, that is a really nice find. As for our other wheat cents, they're almost all clustered together right next to each other. So let's go through them one at a time and see what the dates are. Alright, up first we have this one, and that one's going to be a 1946 out of San Francisco. Next one is going to be a 1949 from Philadelphia, in pretty nice shape, really good detail on it. Our last wheat cent is going to be a 1944 from Philadelphia. Well, very first roll of box 2, and we have wheat cent number 30 on the hunt, a 1956 out of Denver. Roll number 7, and we have another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1952 from San Francisco. Very next roll, and we've got an oldie. We've got a 1927 out of San Francisco. That's our third 20s wheat cent of the hunt so far. Fourth pre-40s. Another really nice find. Let's keep on hunting. 3 rolls later, and we've got another 50s find. Another 1957 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we've got 2 more. We have a 1944 from Philadelphia, and wheat cent number 2 is back here. It's pretty good details on it, but it does look like it's been cleaned. Let's see what the date is. Alright, and that one is going to be a 1950 from San Francisco. Very next roll, and we have another 20s find. We have a 1921 here, in pretty good shape. That is a date you don't see every day. There might be a mint mark too. You can see that little bulge underneath the date. Let's go ahead and look at it under the microscope, just to be sure. Well, it's real faint, but you can see the S mint mark right there. There's no Denver mint mark for that year, so just Philadelphia and San Francisco. And this is definitely a San Francisco. Has an awesome find. I don't know about the mintage, but I'm sure it's not very high. So we'll go ahead and add that to the board and keep hunting, and hopefully we can find some more. Roll 14, and we have 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1957 at the front here, and back there, wheat cent number 2. And this one is going to be, let's see, a 1958, also out of Denver. Very next roll, and we have another 1957, also out of Denver. Very next roll, and the streak still continues. We got 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1951 from San Francisco, and a wheat cent back here. And that one's going to be a 1956 Denver. Roll 18, and while we missed the wheat cent in the last roll, we definitely made up for it with this one, with 3 wheat cents. We have a 1953 Denver up here. Back there, wheat cent number 2. It's going to be a 1958 Denver. And at the back, wheat cent number 3. And that one's going to be another 1958, also out of Denver. Roll 19, and this box keeps on giving. We got another 20s wheat cent. This one is going to be a 1927 from Philadelphia. 2 rolls later, and I can't believe it, we have another 20s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1924 Philadelphia, and that's not a half bad looking coin. You can see a lot of detail still in it, even though it's dang near 100 years old. That is a really nice find, and our 6th from the 20s alone. 2 rolls later, and while it's not a 20s wheat cent, we do have a 50s wheat cent here, 1953 from Denver. Roll 26, and the box keeps on giving. We got 3 more wheat cents here. And the one up front here is in really nice shape. 1930 from San Francisco. It's a shame it wasn't 1 year later. That's a key date. But either way, that is a fantastic find. Take a look at that detail. Let's go ahead and look at the reverse. And that reverse is really nice. Look at that. I'm really excited about that one. We got 2 more wheat cents here. This one's in pretty nice shape too. Let's see what the date is. Alright, that's going to be a more common 1958 Denver. Really nice shape too. And this last wheat cent back here, not nearly as nice shape, but let's see what the date is. And that one's going to be a 1947 from San Francisco, I believe. Roll 31, and we have another 30s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1937 from Philadelphia. Roll 33, and we have 3 more finds. We have another old Canadian cent from 1964. We also have 2 wheat cents, a 1954 from San Francisco, and one back here. That one's going to be a 1953, also from San Francisco. Very next roll, and we have another 1953 from San Francisco. Roll 35, and we have 2 more wheat cents. A 1945 Denver up front here. And back here, wheat cent number 2 of the roll. And that's going to be a 1956 Denver. Roll 42, and we have another 1956, also out of Denver. Very next roll, and we have a 1958 from Denver as well. Roll 47 of box 2, and we have another old Canadian cent, a King George VI. Let's go ahead and see what the date is. Alright, that's going to be a 1949. Not in half bad shape too. Roll 48 of box 2, and we've just hit 60 wheat cents on the hunt. We have a 1953 from San Francisco up front. And back here, the 60th wheat cent is going to be a 1956 out of Denver. Well, today's hunt was one of those hunts that you just never want to end. It was just awesome. We got so many finds, but the time has come for the wrap-up. So let's go over our finds real quick. We got 45 Esmond Memorial cents, along with 7 Canadian cents, 2 of which were older, a 1964 Queen Elizabeth, and a 1949 King George VI. We also had that counter stamp coin with Oklahoma, along with 23 really nice shiny copper cents. The best of these shiny copper cents are going to be these 3 up front here, and that 1966 is in really nice shape. Moving on, we got 34 50s wheat cents, along with 17 from the 40s, 3 from the 30s, and 6 from the 20s. As for our 30s finds, we had a 1937 Philadelphia, that ender which turned out to be a 1934 Philadelphia, and that really nice 1930 out of San Francisco. It's going to upgrade the book. As for 20s finds, we had a 1927 out of San Francisco, 1927 Philadelphia, 1925 Philadelphia, a 1921 San Francisco, a 1924 Philadelphia, and a 1924 San Francisco as well. We actually are able to make one new addition today as well. That 1925 Philadelphia is going to fill a hole. So let's go ahead and get the oldest book out and make the additions and upgrades. We're back now with the album, and our one new upgrade is going to be this 1930 out of San Francisco. Really nice looking coin. Only 24 million minted, and we got a really nice one out of it. Really nice 1930 San Francisco with some really nice detail on the reverse as well. So I'm really excited about that one. As far as our one new addition goes, we have this 1925 out of Philadelphia, which turns out is the most common of the remaining holes left in the book. By a long shot, 139 million minted, but it's always nice to fill another hole, and it's a pretty nice one as well. Some really nice detail. This may have been a collection dump. We got 9 pre-40s finds on today's hunt, and they're all in really nice shape, so really excited about that. We got that one new addition in there, putting us to 232 spots filled now out of 270. As always, I want to thank y'all for watching. These hunts are a lot of fun, and this one was no exception. I hope to continue in the next week. Hopefully we'll find some more similar boxes. Only time will tell though. So until then, happy hunting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.